Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to another Zoom call, and thanks for joining us. And the purpose for this Zoom call is to share these amazing knowledge in English, and together we will spread these very, very important, very, very amazing knowledge to every corner of the world. So thank you for joining me. Thanks for going with us on this journey. Right, it's going to be a great one. So yesterday we went over the transformations principle, and if you can see on my shared screen here, we discussed how can we make the transformation, how can we get to where we wanted? Because in the previous sections we talk about the seven holistic life, right? So how do we get closer to those seven holistic wells in order to get our holistic life? So transformation is one of the very big part of it because, for example, let's say you are not fit or you want to be more healthy, right? You want to have better physique, then somewhere in the process, we would need to have a transformation so that we can transform from where we are to where we want to be. Therefore, it is extremely, extremely important that we uh, we work toward that transformation. And obviously, it is easier said than done. And therefore, we sharing with everyone this principle, namely the transformation principle, because there are steps that we need to define. There are steps that we need to understand in order to have the transformation. And most importantly, we want to get the transformation that we desire, right? You want to materialize your desirable outcome. And in order to do so, we have to understand what we want it to be. And that is the reason that right underneath the transformation, I have the word understanding, because from understanding, we will have that transformation. And prior to anything, any transformation, any understanding. Back in the sixth barrier, we briefly discussed of how when we comes up with an idea, right? Let's say when we are doing just normal daily activity, and all of a sudden there is an idea come to you, and it is it can be like in the form of a question. But the amazing thing is has to have some very important meaning in order for it to occur. And from that question, if we if we are not careful, right? If we don't understand the six barriers, we will start making excuses, which stopping us from getting where we want it to be. And that is the reason we said that lack of vision is one of the most important reason, or one of the toughest barrier among the six barrier for us in order to break through to have that transformation. Okay, so the transformation principle started out with questioning. You have to ask a meaningful question, and then we have to have our contemplation period. And the reason that I draw a very, very big heart on top of the word contemplation is because we have to be able to differentiate between positive desire and negative desire, because most of the time we can't even tell between the two. For example, for the longest time in my life, I I wanted to lose weight because in my mind back then, losing weight is equal to healthier, equal to being prettier. Turn out that isn't the case, right? Because there are some people who are very skinny, but they are not healthy. They don't even look good. Therefore, what I really wanted to acquire, the transformation that I wanted, is not losing weight. It is actually wanting to be healthier or wanting to be more handsome, right? So we have to be able to differentiate between the two questioning, the two contemplation in order to have the transformation that we want. Otherwise, we will unconsciously attract and materialize the undesirable outcome. And truth is, transformation is happening all the time, right? Whether you are aware of it or not, because research shown that we are the one, for example, like I am the one that I'm talking to the most every day, right? Ben is talking to Ben all the time, even right now, even when I'm talking to you. Similarly, you are the one that talking to yourself all the time. And through that information, through those questioning that you might not even aware of, it causing the transformation that a lot of time you don't even aware of. And that is part of the reason when we said that imagine a chicken egg, right? If the four is coming from the outside in, then what? Then it means that life treating us like food. But if the four is coming from the inside out, then that means life, right? So similarly, when we make the conscious choice to be very aware of our positive desire, we will be able to have the transformation, the desirable outcome that we want. Very amazing, super awesome. Because if you really think about it, right? If you were to talk to anybody, anyone that you know of, whether it is your family members or your friends, if you ask them like what do they want in life or what their desire is, what are their goals, people will tell you amazing things that they want to get, right? They want to be prettier, they want to have nicer skin, they want to win the lottery, right? They want to get a better job, have a better relationship. And all of them are good desire. All of those usually are very, very good outcome that they want to have. But the thing is, they didn't know about the transformation principle. They didn't know about positive contemplation and negative contemplation. And often the outcome that they materialize, the outcome, the transformation that they got, it is undesirable. Okay. But don't worry, we are here to help. We are here to provide you the information that we all need it in order to get that desirable outcome. Okay. And if you can understand the four principle that we have shared with you, you are in a very, very good position. And let me mention those principle again. The first principle is the principle of light. Okay. The second one is activation of the human brain. The third one is the circle of knowledge. And the fourth one is the transformation principle. through this four principle, you will be able to unlock the door to your inner self. You will be able to feel it. You will be able to materialize what you truly want. And that's not only it. Today, I'm going to introduce you to an even greater information, right? So let's get some pen and paper and let's get started. Let's continue today session. And I am very, very excited about today. We are actually starting to go into learn more about our inner self. And as you all know, it is the very foundation of your lit out. You have to have a strong foundation in order to build anything like health, relationship, finance. So let's do it. So beside the four principle, what I want to share with you today is, let's write on top here, the let's write big word because this is very, very important. The three semantic, and let's write this way. SEMANTIC. All right. The second word is reference. RE. Refer. All right. System. This. So what is the three semantic reference system? Okay. These are the three foundational reference systems that we can apply to anything in life. It is like a compass that can help you find your direction so that you can get to where you want to be. Very, very powerful. Usually in life, people don't know where to go. People don't know what to do or how to get to their destination because they don't have a reference system. They don't have a compass. And a lot of time, even though they feel like they are having a direction, right? Something to reference to, but until they actually go on journey, they realize how lost they are. And one of the stories that I have shared is the amazing success story of Mr. Donald Trump. But even as successful as he was, he's still having his divorce, right? He didn't have a fulfilled first marriage. And I have shared with you guys that even though he was a billionaire in the 70s and in the 80s, he there was time that he actually had lost all of his money, the entire billion, and he even owned another amount close to a $1 billion. Okay, so if he know what he was doing, then he wouldn't be in that situation, right? So in a way, there are many things in life that we might feel like we know what is going on. We know exactly what was happening, what needed to do. But true is we need to have some sort of reference system that we can apply to all of it. And lucky for us, we thanks to all of the teacher, the guru that have shared these foundational principle, right? The reference system, and those are the three semantic reference system. And I would like to call this is the let me fix this the yeah the SRS to your SOS. Okay. So SOS is like an event where you need help. That is when they send out an SOS signal in order to get help. So whenever you feel lost, like in the situation of Mr. Donald Trump, where you don't know what to do, you can definitely refer back to the three semantic reference system. And like I said, it is like a compass that will show you the way. And it is the SRS to your SOS. Super amazing because you know what? There was a lot of people in my life that I have talked to, and they have problem and issue, and they just don't know what to do. They don't know who to talk to. But thankfully, we are going to have the three semantic reference system to use as a foundational principle to explore, to expand whatever field that we want it to be. And I know that is a very, very big promise, but let me assure you that it it's gonna be exactly what I have mentioned. Because if you have been going through the second season, you will know that the four principles, as good as they are only an introductory to the three semantic system. And yesterday, when we went over the transformation principle, when we went over the positive and the negative, Kim Dong were asking a very, very good question. Like, can you differentiate between positive and negative? And yes, we can make the difference between positive and negative, right? And I said that, for example, a um, a contemplation of how can I lose weight or how can I be happy, it might sound very positive to many people. I thought it was very positive back in the day, but now that I have a greater understanding of the transformation principle and the three semantic reference system, I realized that it was not a positive question. And that is because when you ask the question, how do I lose weight? It also means that deep down you believe that you are overweight, right? So the better question to ask is, how can I be healthy? Or better yet, how can I be healthier, right? Because even the question, how can I be healthy? You are already admitted to yourself that you are not healthy, right? And that work in the subconscious level. But if you are asking the question, how can I be healthier? Then that means that you admitted to yourself that you are healthy. You just want to be healthier, right? Similarly, if you were to ask the question, how do I be happy? How can I be happy? If you were asking that, this might sound like a very positive question because you are looking to be happy. But in actuality, the second that you ask that question, you already admitted to yourself that you are not happy. Therefore, a better question to ask is, how can I be happier? How do I becoming happier? And in order to fully understand the concept or the idea of positive and favorable desire to get to our desirable outcome, we are going to introduce the first semantic reference system out of the three. All right. And let me introduce you to the root formula. All right. If you have pen and paper, of course, I would like to invite you to draw with me, because doing that it will help you understand the lesson better. So let's write the root formula or Miller. All right. So this is one of the three semantic reference system, and this will help you explore deep inside of your inner self to the root of it all, to the very foundational. And once you can understand this, you will be able to get to the root of anything you are interested in, whether it is about your life or about your health or about your relationship or about your finance. This root formula will help you get to the bottom of it, right? To the root of it all. And this is one of the big three topic. Therefore, we will need about 2 to 3 sessions in order to go through everything. But I know Lunar New Year is coming, so hopefully we can finish this in 2 sessions. And then after this, for the second semester, I will introduce the second of the three semantic system, and we will end our season there, so that all of my friends can celebrate Lunar New Year's, and when we come back, just like before, we will circle back to the beginning, so that we can understand all of the principle and all of the formula better. And then I will introduce you the last but not least, my most favorite, the third one in the semantic reference system. But anyway, let's get back to the root formula, the introductory part of it. So I would like you to draw a tree on the right hand side here, top right corner. Right. This will be the body of the tree. And then let's give it some leaves. Right. And let's give it some fruit. Right. And let's call this a mango tree. I love mango. All right. So imagine this is your mango tree, right? For me, this is my mango tree. And when I plant my mango tree, I want to have sweet mango. But unfortunately, after months and years of taking care of the mango tree, I happened to get a sour mango. Now, the question is, how can we get the mango fruit to change from sour to sweet? What can we do with it? Right? Let's think about the solution for just a moment. What can we do? What can we do to get sour fruit to into sweet fruit? Right? And the very first one that people can think of is just, you know what? Just get the sour fruit and add sugar, right? And there's the technical word for it. It's called macerate with sugar. So macerate with sugar. Okay. How about we get that sour fruit and we trade it, right? We trade sour for sweet. I see that in the market. There are people who are selling green mango, right? The sour one, the not ripe one for a ripe mango, which is sweeter. So that is something that we can do as well. We can trade sour for sweet. All right. Where is another solution that we can use? How about we take care of the tree, right? Did we take care of the tree? Now, did we give it enough water? Did we fertilize the soil, right? So we can try to do more, to do better. We can try fertilization. Fertilization. All right. Where's another solution? How about how about we can just change our taste, right? Instead of eating, instead of the desire to eat sweet uh, orange or mango in this case, how about we just change our taste so we can enjoy the sour one, right? There are people who are selling sour mango in the market, so somebody has to like it, right? How about we change our taste? Okay, and then the fifth one. The fifth one is very interesting because it is a technique called giraffing, and and this is very amazing because recently I came across a video of how there are a lot of lime being imported from Mexico to the United States, and they are doing really well because the demand for lime increase. Right, lime is kind of like lemon, but instead of like the yellow lemon that we get here in the U.S., it is kind of like a green looking lemon, and we use a lot of this in Vietnam. We a lot of people use it in their cuisine, like Mexican cuisine, Asian cuisine. We use a lot of those. And because it has becoming more popular among the US consumer, so there's increase in demand of lime. And and the supplier in Mexico, they wasn't able to keep up with the demand of lime. So what they did is very interesting. They used the giraffing technique. Here, let me just write it down. Giraffing. So they use the giraffing technique, and they uh, they take a branch of the uh, the lime tree and they draft it to an orange tree. So an orange tree is much bigger and it can provide like, more nutrition. So what I saw was like these farm, like big farm, and they have like a whole bunch of orange tree. But out of this orange tree, you can see like lime, hundreds of them. And people were just like collecting and harvesting them, and they was making so many lime, and it was super amazing. I didn't think that it was possible, but they was able to do that. So giraffing is a technique that you know what, if you have like a sour tree, right? Maybe you can giraffe some of the sweeter branch onto that tree, and it's probably gonna produce like sweet mango. All right. So those are the five most common answer that I usually get. So let's try like just one more, the sixth and the final one. And Jasmine here said nine. Yeah, it's actually really, really awesome. But number six here is just plant a different tree. Yeah. Let's just skip all of the headage and let's just plant a different tree and get it over with. So let's see, plant a different true. All right. Yeah, like instead of doing all of this extra step that gonna take you like extra time and extra money, right? Like why do you have to go through the process of adding sugar and then even like trace sour for sweet, fertilization, chain taste, giraffing, when you can just plant a different tree? Problem solved. And this is looking pretty good for for our problem of the sour mango. And I want you to think about the solution, right? And I want you to ask yourself the question, are these solution permanent solution? The first one is add sugar, macerate with sugar, okay? And the situation is that you have sour mango and you want sweet mango. Add sugar, macerating with sugar. I think that is only temporary, right? Because it is an actual work that you have to do. What you truly want is the sweet mango coming right off of the tree. Okay. So this solution number one, it is only temporary. How about tray sour for sweet? It is a solution, but similar to the first one, there's an extra step that you have to do. You still have to collect the sour mango to trade for sweet mango, right? The root of the problem. Let's draw some root here for us to differentiate. Okay. Again, you can trade sour for sweet, but that is not the root of the problem. The root of it all is that we have a sour mango. We want to collect the sweet mango right off from the tree. We don't want to do extra step. So the solution of trade sour for sweet, similar to the first one, it is only temporary, right? How about fertilization? It's kind of like 50-50, right? Because if that is what the tree needed to change sour fruit to sweet fruit, then it might work. So number three is okay. Number three kind of makes sense. Fertilization. I like it. What about change taste? I guess change taste is good and it can be permanent, but then that is not the root of the problem either. What we want again is that sour fruit on the tree. We want to make that sour fruit to be sweet. So change taste is only temporary. What about grafting? I think grafting is kind of like in the gray area, right? It's kind of like okay, but then it is not okay because if you don't take care of the tree, right, the branch of the sour mango is still gonna grow. And if you are not careful, the sour mango is still gonna show up. So unless you like both sour and sweet and you have different variety, then that's awesome. But if your your solution, your goal is to only get sweet mango, then drafting is not a permanent solution either. What about number six? Plant a different tree. Planting a different tree seems to be the best solution, right? Because hey, you don't want a sour mango, which means you don't want a sour tree. Why should you spend all that time and effort going through all of these steps to get the sweet mango? We could just plant a different tree, right? And this has been done, okay? This has been done in farm many, many times, but unfortunately, there are people who try to plant a different tree and they get the similar result, right? Maybe it's not as sour as before, but it is still a sour tree, a tree. So the root of it all, okay, is this. I would like you to kind of like draw a circle right here. And I'll tell you what, it is all about the seed. There's a very famous quote saying that you reap what you sow. And this means that whatever seed that you put down, the fruition from that seed is what you will get, right? So even though you want a sweet mango, but you get sour mango, and that probably has a lot to do with the sour seed of the mango tree, right? And if you're not careful, if you want to plant a different tree, if you're not very specific of what that different tree is, right? Then most likely you will get the sour mango again. And that brought me back to a very good question that Kim Dong asked him yesterday, which is how can we tell between the positive and the negative, right? There's an exact same answer the question here. How can we tell between the sweet seed and the sour seed, right? And this takes us back to the question, how do I lose weight, right? Even though it might sound very positive to you because you are becoming aware of it. But the fact that we are asking, how do I lose weight? We already admitted to ourselves that we are overweight. Okay. So a better question to ask is, how can I be healthy? So that's now better, but still asking how do I be healthy? You also admitted to yourself that you are not healthy. So the root of it, even though it might look like you want it to be sweet, but at the root of it, okay, this is why this is called the root formula. We go in deep to the root. So deep down, we still are not clear. We're still not able to differentiate between the positive and the negative. So the best question to ask is, how can I be healthier? As I mentioned earlier in today's session, because the second you ask, how can I be healthier? You are already admitted to yourself that you are already healthy. You just want to be healthier, right? So similarly, in order to plant a sweet mango tree, instead of asking the question or come up with the solution, plant a different tree, our solution should be, yeah, I'm going to write this right underneath, plant a, a what? A sweet mango tree. We have to be very specific with our inner self, right? And similar to the orange tree here, you have to make a very specific information, right? You can't just say plant a different tree. You're probably gonna get a sour tree again. You need to say that, oh, I want to plant a sweet mango tree, and you're likely to get the sweet mango tree. And better yet, you can say that I want to plant a sweeter mango tree, and that is even better. Just like the question of how to find happiness, right? Instead of asking, how can I be happy? You should ask the question, how can I be happier? Because asking, how can I be happier? We already admit to yourself that we are happy. We are already happy. We just want to be happier, right? So this are the six solutions that most people would give to their problem. And what I am telling you is most of its solution is only temporary. Okay. In the case of the mango tree, fertilization might be a permanent solution because fertilization might be the exact thing that the mango tree need, right? So we can get 1 out of 6 here just for the mango tree scenario, right? So this we just went over the transformation of the mango tree. Let's bring back the transformation principle, right? So what did we do there? What did we do for the mango tree scenario? What we did is that we have a very clear goal, right? We know what kind of transformation we want for the mango tree. And then we're trying to get to a better understanding of that transformation. We start asking questions, right? We start to what the Americans said, brainstorming, coming up with idea, questioning, and we was able to come up with the sixth solution, which is the sixth most common solution, and that is called contemplation, right? And then we figured out which of these solution is going to work, right? What is the permanent solution and what is a temporary one? So that is contemplation. And I just help you. Together we analyze what is the negative and what is the positive one, what works and what doesn't work. We just analyze what is the desirable outcome and what is the undesirable outcome. And through that, we we became enlightened, right? We have our enlightenment moment where we realize that fertilization, that might be it, right? We did it one time. Maybe that's what the tree needs. Fertilization, let's do it. Let's get that sweet mango tree. And through that, we will get the transformation of the mango tree from being sour to sweet. Sound pretty good, right? But the thing is, fertilization, this might not be a permanent solution either. Because what if that is not what our mango tree needs? What if we fertilize it, but it is still not sweet, right? So in a way, this might be a temporary solution as well. So without the three semantic reference system, right? Without the SRS to your SOS here, this might be very difficult to get the transformation that we want. But once we can have a deep and full understanding of the root formula, we will be able to go to the root of the problem. We will be able to fix it. So let's use another example so that we can really understanding how temporary most of the solutions are. Okay. So instead of a mango tree, let's look at health, for example, right? And if you can recall, health is one of the four big category in our lit house, right? In our lit house, we have our inner self, and then our health, and then our relationship, and then our finance. All right. So let's look at the health category, for example. Okay. You want to be healthy, right? But unfortunately, you are not healthy. Like the story of my friend Jack, right? He was overweight, and then he was able to make the transformation, amazing transformation. In only 6 months, he was able to have the transformation from being overweight to super fit, like supermodel, six pack, ripped bodybuilder. That was his reality. Okay. But let's say we use the six common solution for to change the sweet from to change the sour mango to the sweet mango. So in the case of health, what do we mean by add sugar? Maybe just looking at a healthier image, right? Trying to convince ourselves that we are healthy, right? In the case of Jack, like he macerating with sugar, maybe he can just telling himself that I'm not overweight, I'm actually fit, or just hang out around like fit people, healthier people. Maybe he can be healthy too. But again, that is only temporary. What about trade sour for sweet? So that's mean that you don't have a good health, but you want to trade your bad health for somebody else health, right? That sounds amazing for you, but what about the person that you trade your good health to? Are they going to take it? I don't think so, right? You can't just trade something bad to other. You can't even give them for free, right? They wouldn't take it. So that is not a solution either. How about fertilization? And you can see the check mark here. Fertilization, that's actually make a lot of sense, right? You can you can eat healthier, right? You can go to the gym, you can exercise, you can hang out with your fit friend. So again, number three is pretty good. right? What about number four, change taste? A lot of people do this too. They instead of being like trying to be healthier, they were like, that's it. That's just who I am. I'm just gonna have to deal with it. So instead of looking forward to be fit and healthy, they just accepting the fact, right? And I can see Kim Dong asking a question here. Positive or negative is one of these states, like the two sides of the coin. Too much is not good, and both. Well, there's a lot of different definition for positive and negative, right? If you go to a dictionary and if you can type in like any definition, often you will see like a list like number one, two, three, four, five, and some words they even have like 20 some definition, and that's part of the reason we have these Zoom sharing so that we can define the meaning of it. And the reason we are using the word positive and negative so that we can demonstrate how important it is to differentiate between the two because there's a lot of thought that we think that it is positive, that is going onto the good side, right? Or light and darkness, but it is not, right? And similarly for the light principle, what was demonstrated uh, a very simple question of having a dark room, and we have two solutions. Do we try to get darkness out of the room, or do we try to bring light inside of the room? And everyone can answer this question. Just turn on the light and darkness will disappear. But we cannot use the same idea. Actually, we can use the same idea for many other things. People just don't use it, right? So dark room, similarly, let's use the example that we are using right now about health, about having better health, right? But usually when people look at that, if they are not aware of it, if they are not careful, what they tend to do, which I'm guilty of doing in the past, and I'm sure many people are having the same problem because in the US we had like gym everywhere, but people are still overweight, right? People are still not healthy. Even the people who go to the gym every day, they are not becoming healthier, right? So the problem is that instead of turn on the light, people tend to focus on the darkness. And the bigger picture is they are not even aware of that. They thought that they are turning on the light, but darkness is still there. And that is something that we are trying to demonstrate right here with the root formula. People might think that they have a solution to their problem so that they can have their transformation. But reality is their transformation, their solution are only temporary. And I just share one of the very important technique is instead of asking the word, how can I be healthy? We should ask the word, how can we be healthier? Because that will get to the very root of the formula, right? Instead of asking the question, plant a different tree, which is not very specific. That is more like focus on the darkness because by saying plant a different tree, you admit it to yourself that your tree is not good, is not desirable. Or even the question, plant a sweet mango tree. This might appear to be a very positive questioning. This might appear to be a very positive contemplation. But at the root of it, okay, at the root of the problem, it is not. Because the second that you ask yourself that I want to plant a sweet mango tree, you are already admitted to yourself that you don't have a sweet tree, you have a sour tree. Therefore, a better question to ask is, I want to plant a sweeter tree, because doing that, you admitted to your inner self that you are already sweet, or you are already having a sweet mango tree. You just want to get it to be sweeter. And that is how we lit up our dark room. That's how we lit up our lit house. An amazing question. And I know you came in a little bit late to today, which is fine. Thank you very much for always joining us and going with us on this journey. So we are getting to the bread and butter of it all, right? The four principle is very amazing in itself, but we are going deeper in our inner self, go deeper to the three semantic reference system. And this is the SOS to your SOS. And this is the reference system that you can literally use for anything in life. And just as I demonstrate in today's presentation, for the case of the sweet mango tree, the sour mango tree that we're trying to get it to sweet, the solution, even though it seems to be a pretty popular, pretty good solution, these are only temporary, right? And similar to the the sweet mango tree scenario, when we talk about our health, it's very similar, right? We can change taste, we can try add sugar, we can try trade sour for sweet, we can try fertilization, but that might not get us to where we want to be. And what about grafting, right? Number five here, there's organ transplant, but it's not very ethical because you have to get it from somebody else. So, and even after you get that transplant, you still have to take medication because your body might reject that organ. So that is a solution, but it is not a permanent solution. And what about plant a different tree? We don't know that, right? We don't know how to plant a different tree because there's no, it's a human life. Like how can we end one life and start another? And that is the dark side of it, right? And I don't want to go into that dark side. And Kim also say, and it will die sooner than normal tree. Yeah, yeah. It's well, in reality, it's help people extend their life, so it is good. Like my neighbor, like right now in real life, right? He is only in his 20s, but his kidney went bad, and he actually had a kidney transplant, and that helped him live longer, but it is only temporary. If he if he make the conscious choice of taking care of his health, then you know what? He might not need that kidney transplant. He might be healthy. And this is what we mentioned in the sixth barrier as well, because if you remember, this little stick figure person is like a chicken egg, right? If the force coming from the outside in, then we will be like food. But if we can make the conscious decision to break through the sixth barrier, we'll give ourselves life. And this is so amazing that we have to be conscious. We have to make that conscious choice to work on the four important category, which is inner self, health, relationship, and finance. And through all of this knowledge, we will be able to make the conscious decision to make that transformation so that we can live a more fulfilling life, right? A more holistic living to get closer to that seven holistic wealth. And as you can see, the the six solution, they are only temporary. But don't worry, tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow we will go deeper to the root formula. I will give you the solution. I don't just give you all of the problem, but I want you to be coming aware of the problem, becoming aware of the issues that to a lot of people, these are in their don't know. This is in their unconsciousness. They are not even aware of it, right? And I am guilty of this in the past. But don't worry, we have a solution. We have a reference system for you to go to, and it will help you get closer to that holistic life. So once again, thank you very much for joining me. I would like to keep the Zoom call in the 1 hour time, so that I know I have like different viewer in this Zoom call, and to me it is only in the morning, and we have to like get ready to go to work and stuff. And there are people, they have to like take their lunch nap, and like in Asia right now it is in the evening, so some people have to go to bed. But thank you very much for joining us on this journey. This is a very meaningful, and it's going to be a great one. Thank you for everyone who is joining us. And like usual, let's go out with some music.